Hello, everyone. Welcome to Off the Charts, episode 310. My name is Dan, and I shall be your host once again. Cheers to you all. Hope everybody had a great Christmas. Before we start off, if you like this type of content, please like and subscribe. Tell your friends. Hit the little thumbs up and little bell to be notified when I publish new content like this. Now, so I did an episode in response to my friend Steve from Rock and Metal Invasion regarding one and done bands. And some folks, not just on my channel, but on his, also commented, why didn't you put this band or why didn't you put that band? Well, some of these bands have actually released a second or third or whatever album, but a lot later on in their career. Like, there was their heyday in the hair metal era. Then we all know what happened in the 90s with the grunge scene. So most of these bands just disbanded or just quit or whatever. But some of them actually went on, some of them recorded material but was never released until 10, 20 years later. So I'm here to let you know which of these bands I own or know about. I'm sure I'm going to miss some, and that's where you come in. Let me know. I'm a completist, so I'm trying to get everything in certain bands' discographies. Also, to be able to do episodes on them when I have the whole full discography. So having said that, I'm going to go, well, you know what this channel is also. I try to not just talk about hair metal, but also plant a seed in your brain. Not that sounds wrong, but anyway, plant a seed, regarding certain bands you might have forgotten about, or some of them you don't even realize that you loved back then, but you don't realize that they actually have more recordings of late. So I will let you know of these. I'm putting them here in alphabetical order. So anyway, here goes. So these are hair metal bands that you thought had ended, or most of you have thought there. Some of you guys out there are actually on the ball. Like, they actually follow these bands also. So some of them, it might not be news for you, but you never know. Some people just might not realize that these albums exist. So here we go. So this is in alphabetical order. So you'll get the gist of it there as I'm moving along. So in alphabetical order, again, no order preference. So let's talk about Black and Blue. They had 4 albums in the 80s. Their last one, sort of, everybody thinks probably it's In Heat, but in fact it is not. They did release a album called Hell Yeah, and this was in 2011. So their last album, In Heat, probably was late 80s. I forget the exact date. But anyway, here's the here, I'll take it out of the. This is one reason why, another reason I hate CDs is this stupid, very easily broken. But anyway, so you got Hell Yeah. This was released. So it's got is Tommy Thayer even on this? Doesn't even look like it. But anyway, it's mostly the band, as we know, especially. Here we go. Yeah, the guitar. So James St. James is back on vocals. Patrick Young is back on bass. Jeff Whoop Warner is back on guitar. And Pete Holmes is back on drums. But there's a new guitarist called Sean Sunnersheen. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Anyway, pretty good album, actually. So here we go. Black and Blue on Frontiers Records. Would love it to have put on vinyl so I can actually get rid of this CD here. But anyway, there you go. That's the gist of it. So some of these albums you might not be aware of. But Black and Blue, Hell yeah, from 2011. And that's how we're doing this. Next up. All right, we got Femme Fatale. This is probably not the cover you're used to. There's also a gray one, which I have on CD also. Should have taken that one out, but whatever. So this is their self-titled from, is it 89? 88, actually. So, Femme Fatale, most people think that they were a one-and-done band. False. So, they kind of disbanded, well, they recorded some music, and the music was actually released in 2016. So here's the second album of Femme Fatale, and this was in the, so I guess, see, they used the old logo right here, but not on the cover itself. Yeah, this was recorded. There's a whole bunch of liner notes that, but anyway. So decent album. I wouldn't say great. You could tell it's unfinished because, you know, the first one had Waiting for the Big One and Falling in and Out of Love. You know, those had these really big, catchy hits. This is kind of what's missing, and you kind of see that it's not demo quality, but it's still very listenable there. It's not too bad, but there wasn't that hit song on this here. So there you go, Femme Fatale, and it's called One More for the Road, which was released in 2016. So there you go. That's another one. Okay, so sector. I feel like I've been drinking all week because it's the holidays, and here I am again. Okay, next up, we're going to go with Heaven's Edge. They had released this one in, was it 1990? I think they re-recorded something else in between, but, so this one, Heaven's Edge, in 2023, last year. Oh, sorry, here we go, I wrote it. Wow. So there's another, it's called Some Other Place, Some Other Time. It was released in 1998. I've never even seen or heard that one. If it exists on vinyl, I will get it, but it doesn't. But in 2023, they went and released Get It Right, which, you know what? I love it even more than their self-titled debut. This was good. Actually made my top 10 last year. So, yeah, Get It Right by Heaven's Edge from 2023. In the middle, there was Some Other Time from 1998. And of course, 1990. I guess the one that they recorded it, but it didn't get released until much later on. But yeah, this one here, 2023, is the one I want to talk about. And it's great. I love this one here. So Heaven's Edge, Get It Right from 2023. That would have been technically their second album there. Now for, maybe you guys know these guys or not there. I'm talking about Highway Child. This was here's a picture of them here. I guess, yeah, this was they have three, you know, classic albums if you know these guys there. Sorry. 1, 2, yeah, 3. So here we go. This was released in 1985. So this is even farther along. So Highway Child, Rockorama. Most people would think that this is their last album, but in 2008, they go and release Keeper of the Earth. It's, you could tell it's, and I hate when bands do this, it's like they take these songs from different eras or record at different places, but they're not mixed equally. You know, one sounds really mastered, you know, one sounds unmastered, one sounds louder, that, you know, stuff like that there. It's not that extreme, but it's how I remember this album. Decent. Again, I got it just to get the... Oh, there's another one before this. Oh my God, I forgot about this one. I'll post a picture right here or whatever. It's one that came out after the fourth one. It's only available on cassette. I've never seen any other format. I remember my friend Steve sent it to me via like MP3s or something like that. He found a site. I mean, it is what it is there, but yeah, there's two of them actually. So this would be the one from 2008. I forget the year of closer, probably early 90s or something. I don't know there, or late 80s. But anyway, Keeper of the Earth, Highway Child from 2008. Next up, okay, these guys have two. So, I'm talking about Hurricane. So, most people would think that they only have the first three albums here. But, in 2001, they go and release Liquid Fury, which, again, does not exist on vinyl. So, I'll get it when and if that's released on vinyl. But, again, last year, they came out with, it's not the same lineup here, but they came out with Reconnected. Now, this one has Daniel Schumann on vocals, Robert Sarzo on guitars, Tony Cavazzo on bass, and Mike Hansen on drums. If memory served correctly, yeah, it's the brother of the Sarzo, and it's the brother of Cavazzo, from Quiet Riot and Quiet Riot. I'm not a huge Hurricane fan, but if you like the first three, I don't remember really, I've heard it once, Liquid Fury, but if you like the first three, this is as good or as bad as the first three. I'm not a huge Hurricane fan there, but yeah, Reconnected was released in 2023, just last year. Did not make my top 10. There you go. So here's another one. Hurricane. Next up, okay. From Canada, Kick-Axe. So this would be their last album most people know about. This was released on, oh my God, this is so small. I'm going to say 87, 88 about. Well, maybe it's on the record. Okay, whatever. It's written way too small here. So anyway, Rock the World would have, people might think that this is Kick-Axe's last album, but they did release an album called Kick-Axe 4, which I'm posting right here, in 2004. To my knowledge, only exists on CD. Once again, if it is available on vinyl, I will get it. And I think, so I know they released a new song, was it last year or the year before? And rumor has it that they're coming out with a newer album soon. So hopefully that is the case, and I'll get it. So Kick-Axe 4, and hopefully another one coming soon. All right. Next up, okay. Some people knew this existed, but some people didn't. Some didn't realize it exists on vinyl. So I assume it's on CD also. So I'm talking about Keel. This would have been their last studio album. Yes, sort of. I'm not. What the hell is that one here? Half Alive or. Anyway, this is their self-titled album here, but most people would know this. But I remember doing an episode on Keel, and one guy's like, I knew those existed, but I did not know they existed on vinyl. So, in what year was this one? Anyway, Back in Action, but I know that this one here, Streets of Rock and Roll, in 2010. Here's how they look like. It's pretty much, I know Mark Ferrari and Ron Keel are here. I forget what the other members are. This is actually pretty good. And I'm not a huge Keel fan, This one also was good, but I like this one a lot better. It seems more like a let's do a studio album and let's make it good. Let's make a good one here. So yeah, Streets of Rock and Roll from I wrote this down here. Yeah, 2010. Also, this one just a little bit before it, Back in Action. So Keel 6. So there you go, Keel. Next up, okay, this one I got two. So I'm talking about kicks here. So most people think that this is Kix's last album. This was 1990? 91, actually, sorry. So Hot Wire 91. But when the hair metal scene came crashing down, there was also this one here called Show Business, which is actually pretty friggin' good. I love this album here. As good as anything else Kix has done here. So that's Show Business from, oh my god, in the 90s. Man, you think buying it on vinyl would be easier to... Anyway, if that one was 91, this is probably 93, 94. I just can't read the date if it's even written here anyway. Great album. Anyway, but that's not the one I really want to show you. But in 2014, they reformed until they retired last year. So they came out with Rock Your Face Off, and this is good. Again, as good as anything Kix. If you love Kix, you're gonna love this album. Okay, just saying. It's everybody is back except the bass player, which Donnie Purnell. I'm not even gonna get into this fight there, but whatever. They're not on speaking terms at all. The bass player and the rest of Kix, but this is good. So check it out. Kix Rock Your Face Off from 2014. That's another one right there. All right, this one here. Anybody remember Madam X? So this is the current drummer for Vixen, Roxy Petrucci. Sorry. But I know Sebastian Bach from Skid Row and now solo was in this band. I just don't know if it was after this album or before it. Nah, I'm not a Madam X expert, but I found out that they actually have an album from 2017 called Monstrosity. It's currently on my wish list. I just can't find it for sale. Like it exists. So Madam X have released an album in 2017 called Monstrosity. And then I guess the reunion of Vixen happened also. So anyway, it's on my wish list. It's I just gotta get off my ass and try and find it here. All right, next up we have Rough Cut. So most people know that they only have the 2 albums released, but in 2021 they did release an album called Rough Cut 3. Again, which I've talked about on my channel before, but I'm just putting everything together and showing you what exists or whatever. So yeah, Rough Cut 3. I have it on digital. It's good. I don't listen to digital as much, so I never really gave it a chance there. But if it got on vinyl, I'd play the shit out of it. But yeah, Rough Cut 3. I know it's Paul Shortino. I don't pretend to be a Rough Cut expert. I like their albums and their music. I like it. I don't love them, but the most important part is Paul Shortino, I guess. So yeah, you have Rough Cut 3 that came out in 2021. Okay, this one here, I don't know about the rest of the world, but in Canada, this was actually pretty huge back in the day. This came out in 1992 actually. So I'm talking about the self-titled album of Sven Gali. They did release an album after, which was like almost grunge-ish, so it's called In Wire, but that's not the one I'm talking about. So Sven Gali, everybody remembers Under the Influence and Tie-Dyed Skies. That was my two favorites anyway. So Sven Gali, they're self-titled, but in 2023, so last year, they came out with this Sven Gali Bombs and Battle Scars, which half great, half good. Like it's a little bit, it's not, so half of it is like the first one, and the other half is a little bit like In Wire. They do a very, very good cover of Triumph Spellbound. You can actually see the video of that on YouTube. But yeah, Sven Gali is back as of they're promoting like crazy on social media there, so I'm hoping to see them here in Ottawa. And they came here in Ottawa, but man, it was part of a festival, it's not a folk festival, but it's something similar where you're like, okay, I'm not going to this festival just for one band. It was like they were stuck with a whole bunch of other bands where I would not have paid to go see it's a whole festival, but hopefully they'll come back here at a bar or something there. So Sven Gali, Bombs and Battle Scars from 2023. Good album. Did not make my top 10 last year, but it's the style is a little bit all over the place. If you're looking for it to sound like their debut one, it's not like maybe one or two songs sounds like the debut. The rest sounds more like they're In Wire or something else there. But anyway, it's good. I wouldn't say great. So there you go. Sven Gali, Bombs, and Battle Scars. Next up, I only have this on CD, so this is, I'll take it out here. So I got Roxy Blue, Want Some. I desperately trying to find this on vinyl. I do like this album, but the price is ridiculous on vinyl, so I'll keep my CD for now. But they actually have a few other albums in between, but Roxy Blue did release a self-titled album in 2019, which again exists on vinyl. But I'm not going to get it until I get this one on vinyl. See what I mean there? So, I don't know. I got to show you the inside. This is, again, where hair metal kind of went wrong. I just laugh at this. This is the type of stuff they had inside there. I mean, I laugh, but I cringe at the same time. But anyway, Roxy Blue, I do love this album. But they actually have one, a self-titled one, released in 2019, which also exists on vinyl. Again, I'm not going to get it until I get that one on vinyl there. So there you go. Next up, I think that's my last one here. So anybody remember Tora Tora? So Surprise Attack. Well, that's not, and a lot of people think that they had Wild America, which came out after that, which is ridiculously expensive on vinyl. And then there's another one in the 90s or 2000s, but I did find this actual one pretty cheap. Tora Tora, Bastards of Beel. This came out in, where did I see this here? 2019. So it's 5 years ago, but still. Most people, I found this, like just looking through Discogs, when I finally found this one, and I'm like, oh my God, they have more albums here. So thank you, Discogs. By the way, that's a great way to find out who's got what albums there. So Tora Tora, Bastards of Beel. It's decent. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's not as good as Surprise Attack, but it's still pretty good. So yeah, Tora Tora from 2009. What year? Oh my God. 2019. There you go. Yeah. Bastards of Beel. I found this one as a very good price. So if you're a collector like I am, This one's not too expensive to find. So there you go. Tora Tora, Bastards of Beale. And that is it for my bands that you may or may not know that they had later albums, like much later albums in their career. So I'm here to let you know that these exist. Now, having said that, if you, the viewer, have any albums or bands like the same genre, hair metal, that may, let me know in the comments. Like, I know I've skipped a few. This is what I own. Some I own, or some I may not know that it exists on. I am looking for vinyl, to be honest. There, hoping it exists on vinyl. But anyway, just let me know in the comments whether it exists on CD or vinyl. That doesn't matter right now. I just want to know, is there some that I'm missing out there or forgot? So, but I'll let you know in the comment if I just forgot about it or just don't plain own it. So that's my little spiel about hair metal band albums that you may or may not know exist but were released like a good 10, 20 years later on in their career, which happens a lot, especially if you came out, if you decided to continue and it just, the 90s happened and, well, there you go. So anyway, on that note, thank you guys for watching. And next episode, this coming Monday, will be our top 10 from 2024, featuring my friends Steph and Pascal. So they're coming to record today while you're watching this, and we'll be airing this on Monday. So stay tuned with the top 10 of 2024 coming next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.